May I remind you that trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Welcome to QuantBox Daily. Today is Wednesday, April 12th. QuantBox is your global macroeconomic quant-in-a-box. It's a fundamental tool that gives you all the information you need to take a fundamental bias, go into the market, align it with technicals, and be a much better trader, really. If you haven't been using it yet, I definitely recommend you give it a try. It's $7.90 for a 1-week trial, and it will change your life. So here we are, and you can see that like some very new things are being added, a little sneak peek into seasonality for USD pairs. Very nice. So here we are on the score chart summary. Now, we've done this before every single day, and recently I've been going on about the fact that if COT data is zero, I'm leaving the pair alone. But because pickings are so slim right now with regards to finding alpha, what I'm going to do now is just base everything on the score over here, okay? We'll go through the pairs, we'll take a look at it, simply because of the fact that, like, right now, if I'm looking at this, if I was really, really strict, the only pair I'd really be trading is USD ZAR, or perhaps Aussie dollar USD. USD ZAR looking okay. Let's take a look at it. The Aussie dollar USD not looking so great, okay? If you sold this last week when I told you to, then good stuff. You're in a sell right now, you're currently sitting down here, and you're waiting for this to go further down. If you're currently on USD ZAR, you bought it down here last week, you can see right now price currently fiddling around over here. I'm not a massive fan of where price is. I don't like the fact that price has now come back inside the range. You can see here it kind of broke out of the range a bit, but we got this range above here. It really is a mess. Okay, not a massive fan of this at the moment. If you bought down here last week, then you're holding that trade and you're hoping to reach monthly M4. Beyond that, I wouldn't touch this now with a barge pole. So because of the fact that Aussie dollar USD is a trade you took last week and USD ZAR is a trade you took last week, what can you do this week? Let's take a look. So looking at our pairs over here for the buys, pound yen coming through the score of 5. We've got COT data of 1. There's a bit of negative fundamental data, but let's take a look at pound yen anyway. So looking at pound yen from a buy perspective, one thing to pay attention to, though, seeing as seasonality is now being brought in here from a USD pair perspective, let's take a look at the Japanese yen currency pairs. So pound yen currently sitting with seasonality. You can see here going into April, we tend to see the yen pairs go down. Okay, so looking for some yen strength this month. Just be aware of that as we sort of continue buying it with the fundamental bias of buy. Okay, seasonality does play a role in terms of what you're looking to do. But with that in mind, currently a buy. Let's take a look at our pound yen. You can see there, not a massive buy, right? So you can see price coming down, coming off the support over here. I've got a bit of a lineup. What I'm going to start doing is actually making notes on my chart with the dates that I recommend trades, okay? So that you can see when things have been recommended, you go back and watch that video and see, you know, what you might have missed out on. Right now, with regards to where we are in pound yen, you can see here, price is broken above this resistance that has not become support, which means price is currently neutral up here as it continues in towards these resistance levels. Looking at the H4 time frame, you can see we've broken up here. We did touch on the support over here, okay, and price is now broken up higher up. What you're looking for is currently with the bias of bullish. I'm not a massive fan of buying this where we are right now. I would have preferred to buy it over here. That's pretty much where you could have bought it at the moment. Alternatively, you could have got in all the way down here, okay, way back when. Of course, that's not a situation you can really take care of right now. So at the moment, you can see here currently coming up neutral, okay, with the fundamental bias of bullish. So what you're looking at, you're saying, okay, I've got seasonality indicating potential bearishness, and not just in terms of the last 5 years, but all-time average, okay? It's a thing that tends to happen, okay? So based on that, you're looking at this and saying, well, what needs to happen for this to change? We've got some data here. COT data needs to change, okay? Retail sentiment needs to change. And you can see here going into April, March into April, currently showing seasonality of 1, but you can see on this chart here, bearish, right? So perhaps a 4, not a 5. Looking at that then in terms of over here, you could start saying, well, if I was going to focus on seasonality, what would I be looking for? Well, a lower low, lower high. Price breaking support, support becoming resistance would be a very, very nice way of indicating it's time to sell this. And the nice thing is you can't buy this as too high, okay? And unless you want to buy a higher low over here, but ultimately you're too high. And you're looking at resistance saying maybe I could start exercising some seasonality during the month of April on the yen pairs. Okay, looking back at your score chart summary, taking a look at Euro Kiwi. Let's look at the Euro Yen while we're here right now. So Euro Yen also coming through. Look at the seasonality in Euro Yen. You can see here April bearish, okay, and your all-time average also bearish, going right down into August, which is normal stock standard stuff, right? That's what we normally see. So based on that, looking at your Euro Yen, can you start looking to exercise that fundamental bias based on the seasonality? Let's just clear this chart out. I was doing some coaching last night. So looking at that, you can see here, got a top of a range over there. Okay. You are currently at a weekly profit taking zone. So what you're looking for here is a lower low, lower high. Very simple, easy peasy. So you can jump on your H1. You can look for a lower low, lower high there. Okay. You would like to see a break of the 55, pull back up. Top of the range, you open-minded to the fact that might not happen. You might just get like a lower low, lower high. You might get a double top. Some of that indicates that price has stopped going up. Okay. Or you could alternatively look at your M15 chart, and that could be where you're looking for your sell. Okay. Now, over here, you can see this higher than those highs, this low over here, not really coming off support. But if we take a look at this, let's have a look and see. Did I save that? I did not. Let's quickly make one. Let me quickly make a daily time frame. Let's just take that over there and put daily on true. And just save that. Okay, excuse me for sniffing. So you can see there now, you've got price that's now broken the support, okay, but everything is saying bullish. I'd like to see an indication of if price does make a lower high over here and continues to make a lower low, I'd like to see lower lows and lower highs down the board. Ultimately, I'd prefer to see some kind of lower low, lower high on the H4 time frame, to be honest. Okay, we've seen why before. There's a much better time frame to pay attention to in terms of lower lows, lower highs. However, if you are exercising your bias at the weekly M4, then I would like to see some kind of double top action over here. Okay, some kind of indication that we're not making a higher highs anymore. So it could be a double top or a lower high, that then making a lower low and then taking the second lower high. Okay, if you are going to exercise your bias of seasonality, however, realize that overall your bias is currently neutral on Euro Yen. So you got more reason. Let's go chart summary. Okay, Euro Yen coming through the 5 over here. Euro Yen coming through with neutral over there. Okay, so it's scoring everything up. So even though you got a 5, it's still coming through neutral. Okay, so even though you got that bullishness, you are looking at seasonality and saying, well, maybe that is a sell. Okay, cool. So moving on, let's take a look at our bearish pairs. So bearish, we got sell CAD Swissy, -3. Okay, seasonality on CAD Swissy. All right, seasonality, sure, quite bearish, right? Cool. So CAD Swissy, let's take a look. So you got your seasonality tying in with your overall bias. That's your season. That's your CAD Swissy though. Oh, it's nasty. I drew this range in a while back. Still stuck in a range. Bit of a tighter range now. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. MoveOn.com. Pretend I wasn't here. Let's take a look at Kiwi CAD. So Kiwi CAD over here coming through the seasonality. March, April, also bearish. Kiwi CAD, let's take a look. Sorry, friends. Kiwi CAD down at the bottom there. All right, so a lot of stuff going on. Okay, let's just clear this chart out. All right. Currently going down already. Okay, so you can see the sell was over there. Okay, in the sell zone, currently coming down. All right, move on. Let's take a look at score chart summary again. We're looking at Euro Pound. Euro Pound coming through the bias of seasonality, which is currently, you can see April's a bullish month for Euro Pound. Let's take a look. So it's going against the bias. Okay, cool. maybe you're in luck. Okay, that's the H4 time frame. Let's look at the daily time frame for a second. Okay, daily time frame, you want to see, gee whiz, that's very sideways. You want to see a higher high, higher low on the daily time frame. You can see price closing a resistance yesterday. Okay, I'd like to see this candle here. I want to see a higher high, at least break this resistance on today's daily close, and then tomorrow have a chance of maybe buying at this support. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna mark that one off because there's no trade there just yet. We're still waiting for that. Aussie CAD. Let's take a look at Aussie CAD over here. Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD seasonality bearish in April, right down to May, kind of up in May and then down. Let's take a look at Aussie CAD. You've got a bias of bearish as well. So Aussie CAD currently coming down. Okay, let's leave that alone. And then let's look and see. Lastly, we got Kiwi Swissy. Kiwi Swissy sell annual seasonality going down. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at Kiwi Swissy. So Kiwi Swissy. Okay, all the way down there. Could you look for lower lows, lower highs? You certainly could. I pull back to there, 21 EMA, or over there. Let's make a mark off there. Now, of course, what you want to make sure of, let's make a note over here. You want to make sure of the fact that you have no higher lows before, no higher low or pullback. What I mean by that is that you don't get it, that price doesn't come up here, higher low, and then shoot up. Make sure that price is neutral. Price goes straight into that resistance. And then, of course, we've got Aussie dollar USD over here, right at the bottom, coming with a bias of bearish. Okay, now, of course, the dollar pairs, not bad seasonality on that for this month. You can see there, April tends to be bullish. Okay, your bias is currently very strong to sell on that. And so in terms of Aussie dollar USD, we spoke about this last week, you sold up here. Okay, price currently bouncing around over here. And if you did sell there, do you get out yet? Is the question. And the answer is you need to wait for a higher high, higher low. Very, very sideways, very, very neutral. Okay. Cool. So the lesson for today is pay attention to your seasonality, your seasonal charts. Okay. You can see here seasonality US dollar pairs is being brought up. There are no headings just yet. They're busy being put in place. Come back to this later. And I still stand firmly on the fact that if I've got no COT data, if there's a neutral COT score on a pair, I'm not really interested in trading it. But I've included these pairs just based on their total scores because the pickings are so slim out there. You can have a look at those, right? In terms of other pairs over here, neutral, I'm going to still leave those alone. Now, there's lots of pairs in the buy column I didn't look at, okay? You can see, I suppose one of them we could look at is CAD yen. Okay, so CAD yen also coming through, last one, CAD yen coming through seasonality of bearish, okay? Cool. You can see your bias is bullish currently. So CAD yen, let's take a look. And you can see they're currently at a monthly M3. And same thing, also profit-taking zone. You're looking for a lower low, lower high. Okay, I'm going to leave that over there. Let's see how this develops over the coming day. Let's come back to this tomorrow and see where we are. Okay, also you could pay attention to M15 time frame, like I said on the other pair. And let's just get algo daily profit. So you could look at the daily time frame, but you're looking for like you want to break the 55 pullback, either lower high and then lower low, take the second lower high, or pull back double top, then wait for the lower low and take the first lower high. You want some indication that you've stopped making higher highs. Okay. So it's either price comes down, lower low, lower high. Don't take the first one, take the second one. Or price comes up double tops and then take the first one. Okay. That's your general plan. Cool. So make sure whatever you're doing, you stay patient, you stay disciplined, you stay liquid. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.